I bet you're all wondering why you're here today. Have you figured it out yet? Well, it is my pleasure to stand before you today as part of a group of people who understand the challenges that Ohioans are facing, but even more importantly, are prepared to take the step to do the right things, make the right decisions, and help Ohioans overcome the challenges that they face. And so I'm honored today to stand with David Pepper, a good friend, but more importantly, a consummate public servant, a gentleman who served at the local level in government as a city council member and also as a county commissioner, but more importantly, who understands the issues that Ohioans are facing. Cincinnati and Hamilton County are a microcosm of Ohio, and Ohio is a microcosm of the United States. But it's the kind of leadership and the kind of lessons that you learn at the local government that will help shape what we as Ohioans can do for future generations. And that's why I'm honored today to stand with my good friend David Pepper and his special announcement. I'm going to save that for him, but at this time I'd like to call Judge Nate Jones to the podium. Many of you know Judge Jones, a long-time judge for the Sixth Circuit Court here in Ohio, and just an amazing history and record of accomplishments that, as you well know, have made a difference in not only the lives of Ohioans, but in the lives of Americans. And so I think it says a lot, Commissioner Pepper, when you look around you and the people who are standing next to you are amazing individuals that understand not only how to address the problems, but also are part of the fight. And so it's my pleasure today to introduce to you Judge Nate Jones.
Governor, Judge, Mr. Pepper, it's my pleasure to just say a word about David Pepper before I introduce the governor. David and I go back many years. I first saw him when he was a student at the Yale Law School, and I was there judging a moot court. And following our conversation, I concluded that I could benefit from having David, upon his graduation from law school, join me as a judicial clerk in my chambers, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals in Cincinnati. But the big challenge I had to face was that he was in demand all over the country as a judicial law clerk because of his outstanding record at Yale, his undergraduate record, which was outstanding. In between his undergraduate work and his Yale Law School, he'd gone to the Soviet Union and St. Petersburg and performed a great deal of research on economics, which gave him insight into money matters and how the systems work. But in asking him if he would join me as a judicial clerk, he accepted and came back to Cincinnati instead of accepting what was offered to him by law firms in various other communities. And as a judicial law clerk, he tackled with me some of the most complex and difficult issues that floated through that court. And because of his work ethic, his ability to deal with complexity, his intellectual curiosity, we were able to compile a marvelous record of judicial work during the year that he was with me. But as he was with me, we talked about his future. What would he do when his year was up? He had a burning desire to enter public service. He felt he had something to contribute to the social good. And so he decided to stay in Cincinnati rather than accept offers that he was receiving from law firms elsewhere, and do what he could in that community. And so he ran for city council and was elected, led the ticket. And as a city council person, he brought many reforms to the way in which that body operated. And as a city council person, he was so successful and impressive that he was reelected. And then later he ran for an office that Democrats don't ordinarily win, and that's the County Commission of Hamilton County. And those of you who know Hamilton County know what I'm talking about. But he was able to attract the confidence and the attention of persons on a bipartisan basis and was elected to the Board of County Commissioners. He now serves as chairman of that board. And in performing his duties there, he is dealing with some of the most intractable problems of budgets, of crime, of health. And he brings to those challenges the resources of intellect that he acquired as a youngster, the resources that he acquired from his experiences in the Soviet Union, and what he has come to know to be the problems and the aspirations of people. Nationally, you all know that we are faced with a crisis of government, governance. Our financial institutions and our corporate structure face a meltdown. And the great challenge that meltdown or threatened meltdown presented is felt very keenly in the states. This state is faced with a lot of the problems as a result of what's happening nationally, complicating the work of governance within the state. And it makes it important that the governor of this state, who is struggling with these problems, have at his side one who is committed to preserving the fiscal integrity of the state. And that requires an auditor with intelligence and with integrity and honesty. And that person is David Pepper. One of the strategies that was used nationally to address this issue of this threatened national meltdown involving the banks and our financial institutions and our corporations was to subject the banks to what was called a stress test. You've been reading about these stress tests that have been conducted on all of our banks. Last week the reports came out. Some banks survived and some banks were told they had to make some changes and some banks will not survive. I submit that in David Pepper, we have, based upon his experiences through life that I've recounted, one who has been through a series of stress tests. And he has survived those stress tests admirably. And we of Hamilton County and his wonderful family were here, and myself, and I consider myself a part of the Pepper family because I'm so close to them. We're offering to the state of Ohio one who has survived the stress test and who can bring his experiences and his insight and his knowledge to the benefit of all citizens of the state of Ohio, and would, upon joining the team of Governor Strickland, make an invaluable contribution to the solution of the problems that we all face.